Alright. I think it's 2 days since I recorded the last Tears of Themis video. I don't know. Hey everyone, Nightkeeper here once again for the third video. Third video for Tears of Themis. Now, last 2 days I didn't record because it's weekends, and apparently I have little time to record, so I had to do it on weekdays. So better expect Mondays to Fridays videos all day. Anyways, I don't want to stall in the story even further. Let's just jump into it. And then, Alright, so we are at 1-6, and this goes way down to 14. No, 17. That's quite a long track. And apparently, guys, after this video, I might have to grind this chapter a little bit because of the occurring event. And apparently I have to complete this chapter to get it. So next video, if you see this completed, then I have completed my chapter grind. But so that I could just participate in the events. I know it hurts a lot because I won't be able to experience the first time diving into the storyline. So let's do this. So what we have here. So we're at the pantry. By the time Artem hangs up his call and walks out, the pantry is already empty. That's because we left, right? He picks up the exam review book left on that coffee table and skims through the advancement exam notes. The neat handwriting catches his eye.
Partner ka.
Artem puts down the book and sends a voice message with his phone.
財前、以前相談した私の仕事を分担できるパートナー探しの件だが、いい人はいたか？
Oh, Celestine Taylor. Celestine quickly replies.
佐京くん次第よ。どんな人がいい？うちの事務所に満足のいく人がいないなら募集するわ。
Artem frowns and thinks for a moment.
要求は高くない。貧困法制で挫折してもへこたれない。権威にも屈しない人間がいい。
Okay.
業務能力は私と同等。いや、資質優先で。性格と物事の対処方法は私と一緒である必要はない。
Oh.
欲しいのは私の鏡となる存在だ。模倣者じゃない。
Oh, a mirror, not a clone. Nice. It's rare for Artem to send so many messages, yet there is no response.
やはりいい人材が思い当たらないか。
Are you serious right now? Artem puts away his phone and is about to return to his office when Celestine responds.
要求が高くないって言ってなかった？佐京くん、ちゃんと分かってるの？あなたの鏡になり得る人なんて簡単には見つかるわけないでしょう。
Little does he know that it's technically in his face. Listening to... Oh, and not... Guys, I am so young to understand these words. Come on now. Listening to Celestine's tirade? I don't know. Artem frowns again and sighs. His gaze again lands upon the book on the coffee table. His slender fingers run along its spine.
簡単には見つからないか。
Meanwhile, Central Business District. You had followed Winnie to Penny's comfort foods and unexpectedly encountered Luke, a close friend you had not seen for 8 years. Dude. The private detective that Winnie was talking about. It's you, isn't it? National Central University's top bioengineering student is not working not as a scientist, but as a private detective?
当たり。なんせ探偵になるのは俺の小さい頃からの夢だったからな。今になってやっと叶えたってわけだ。
I'm at a loss for words. Same.
安田さんが探してきた弁護士がお前だったとは。念願のステラ大学法学部には入れたんだな。
This would easily escalate into a problem. Okay, I'm not speaking anything. You're too shocked to process what Luke is saying. Ooh.
へえ、二人はお知り合いだったんですね。
We've known each other for like a lifetime, I guess. Winnie looks at you two. She doesn't seem to think further on the matter and doesn't ask any more questions. That
諏訪のおじいさんの家は食堂の2階です。家にいると思うので声をかけてきますね。
Huh? Winnie knocks on the door while you hurriedly collect your thoughts and focus on the job at hand. However, Luke continues to look at you with a smile on his face, his gaze unwavering. Yeah, come on now. Stop staring at me already.
ずいぶん久しぶりだってのに、お前は変わってないなって。
Do I? No way, it's been 8 years. Something has to be different. I'm at least a little taller.
俺から見れば変わってないよ。お前はずっと。俺が16歳だった頃のまんまだ。
Oh. I don't like the sound. I don't like the sound of that. Are you implying that I'm short and immature?
それは違うって。
Just pulling your leg. While you're talking, the back door of the restaurant opens. An old man with gray hair and a sullen face opens the door. He must be Mr. Green.
稽古、もう気を使わないでくれ。食品安全部門の人たちがもう結果を出したんだ。もはや調べることもない。
おじいさん、賠償しても不当な金額を払わされるだけよ。だからこのお二方を連れてきたの。
Greetings. I'm seeing Vernon's expression. You hesitate to introduce yourself. He seems Oh. A lot of things about Mr. Green are concerning, but let's focus on his abnormally purplish lips. We can see things more clearly now. Why are his lips this color? Oh no. Could this be something like he's like suffering or something? It says that his purple lips likely indicate heart So that's heart problems. Oh, this one brings new meaning to inspecting. Oh no. The purple tint to his lips likely indicate that he has a bad heart. If you can't find any points of interest, tap here for a hint. Oh, there? There, I see it on the top left. Now, start your investigation and look for clues. Oh, here, I guess. Cause of bruise on his hand. Could it actually be intravenous? Huh. It's either an injury, but I see some spots there. I'm gonna assume intravenous? But like, who injects there? Like, really? Could it just... Huh. Huh. A pinhole bruise? Looks like it was from an IB needle. For someone of his age, an incident this huge must be adversely affecting his health. I should avoid agitating him too much during questioning. Uh-huh. So what else? So that's 2 points. Huh. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. He has dark circles under his eyes. Such a large incident at this restaurant must have deeply troubled him. Yeah. Hey! Yeah. Looks like you're done with your assessment. Tap N to finish up. Just like Green said, Mr. Green hasn't been physically or mentally well lately. Since he doesn't like lawyers, I better conceal my identity for now. Okay. I'm an assistant to Mr. Luke Pierce here, a private detective.
諏訪さん、こんにちは。私立探偵の水瀬夏彦と言います。事情は安田さんから聞いてます。俺も親を早く亡くしてしまって。支援していただいた方がいなければ大学には行けませんでした。だから諏訪さんみたいな尊敬できる方の力になりたいと思ってます。今回の事故を調査させてくれませんか？
Either touched by Luke's words or his genuine smile, Vernon doesn't put up further resistance.
まあ立ち話もなんだし中に入りなさい。
While following Vernon inside, you and Luke intentionally lag behind. Luke leans towards you, his warm breath tickling your ear.
早速役に入り込んだな。
When we were little, I was always the Watson to your homes. Thought I'd pick up my old job. That's nice. Nice. But aren't you curious why I hid my identity?
聞きたいさ。でも俺はお前を信じてるから。
That's sweet.
それにわざわざ弁護士であることを隠したってことは何か考えがあってのことだろうしな。
That is sweet. That is some shoot.
そうさん、
Some
あなたが殺虫剤をまくとき不注意により湧き水に混ぜたと聞きました。間違いありませんか？
As soon as you enter the restaurant, Luke switches into work mode. His question is the same as Artem's back at the law firm.
おじいさんは殺虫剤は自分が撒いたと言ってました。湧き水に混入してしまったのは年のせいかもしれないって。
Okay.
散布時には注意を払わなかったのに事後に自分のミスを認めた。少し辻褄が合いませんね。
Yeah, I remember that dialogue back then. Unaware of at the time, yet certain he caused the accident. I think he was trying to cover up something.
私が参った。はあ年だから目がよく見えないし、手も震えるので、うっかりして。
事故当日、湧き水はいつ店に届いたんですか？
湧き水は雲海山のもので、だいたい毎朝6時に店に納品されるんだ。
Cloudbreak Mountain Resort. Nice.
湧き水が届く前、もしくはその後、お店には誰かいましたか
？6時半から8時頃まで店には誰もいない。私とバイトさんで仕入れで出かけ、店員の高橋さんは9時からだから。
Okay. Vernon coughs twice and his face takes on an unhealthy tone.
おじいさん、大丈夫ですか？
Yeah, the condition starts to kick in.
稽古、胸が苦しいから上で休みたいんだ。ちょっと支えてもらえるかい？
Mr. Green, do you need to go to the hospital?
大丈夫。いつものことだ。休んだら治る。店の1階は好きに調べてくれ。帳簿付け用のパソコンにパスワードは設定してないから、調べるならご自由に。だが事件からすでに2週間経っているし、店は片付け終わって食材も全部捨てた。調べても何も出てこないと思うがね。
Okay. Winnie escorts Vernon upstairs. After they leave, you speak to Luke in a quiet voice. Mr. Green's acting strange. Normally, clients ask us to find new clues that will turn the case around. Yet, he's the exact opposite. He even emphasized that there's nothing left to find. His response to your question was also fairly apathetic.
直感だけど、諏訪さんは俺たちに協力する気がないと思う。一応形だけ調査はさせてくれるみたいだけど。あと、殺虫剤中毒というのが引っかかるな。市販の殺虫剤のほとんどは大量に噴射しなきゃ人体に無害なはずだ。どうして諏訪さんは毒性の強いものを選んだんだ？少なくとも飲食店で使うような代物じゃないぞ。
Yeah, it really makes no sense. Okay, let's investigate one more time. Excuse me. Penny's comfort foods. Luke suspects there is more to the insecticide poisonings. The fact that an insecticide toxic to humans was used in a restaurant is suspicious by itself. However, the victim claims it was caused by his own negligence. Then let's start with the insecticide itself. Even if it's been 2 weeks, the rest of the insecticide should still be here somewhere.
ああ、食中毒を招いたのが本当に殺虫剤の成分なのか判明させるためにも湧き水を調査しないとな。
Yeah. While you're talking, your phone vibrates. You take it out a second and see a voice message from Artem.
事件はそう単純ではなさそうだ。諏訪さんに注意しろ。何かあればすぐに連絡を。
Mr. Ring also finds Mr. Green in this case suspicious?
もしもし、どうした？何かあったのか？
Artem's voice suddenly rings out from your phone, catching you off guard. You realize that you somehow video called Artem from the message grid. Ah yes, missteps.
ん？間違えた？いや、君が大丈夫ならそれでいい。
No! We're actually aware that this is a video call, and it's actually is.
中級試験の本はあえてこっちに残したのか？
We're assuming her phone right now.
そうか。いや、特に問題ない。復習はともかく、今仕事に専念しなさい。礼はいらない。仕事の邪魔をしたな。では。
That is cool! That is cool! Go! After hanging up your call with Artem, you let out a long exhale.
さっきの人がお前の上司か？
Well, yes.
怖がってるみたいだけど、いじめられてるんじゃないだろうな。
Not at all. Mr. Ring's a senior attorney at my law firm, and he's one of the best in the field. He's really strict, but he never treats anyone unfairly. What?
本当に？
Of course.
まあいいか。仕事でもそれ以外でも何かトラブルとかうまくいかないことがあったらいつでも俺を頼れよ。俺だって腕がいいんだからな。
We just assumed as her phone. I know. Detective Luke Pierce, the incredible. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. This? Oh. Is that sugar? Harrison's effervescent packets? Their health supplements have been popular these past 2 years.
4、5袋なんて1回の服用量を超えてる。いくらサプリだからって。
Oh, overdose. You and Luke reach for the packets at the same time and your hands touch. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Why not start with some hand holding? The moment his fingers touch the back of your hand, you feel a burning sensation that fades away as quickly as it came. You freeze and stare at the back of your hand for a while, then turn to look at Luke.
俺たち相変わらず息がぴったりだな。行動が被るなんてさ。
Why not?
それよりさ、どうして諏訪さんは大量の粉薬を飲んだんだろうな。
I would say because of his heart condition. Oh, when you said it's because of his heart, yeah. What happened with Luke? Just now he pulled back his hand as if he got electrocuted. You put these thoughts away and turn your attention back towards. Don't be distracted! They probably work as a police booth for.
でも副作用があったら逆に体に悪いのに。
And that's dangerous. Here's an effervescent packet of tea. I already inspected that. Better move on to the next thing. Okay. Was like can we check something? Oh! Did Mr. Green collect all of these books? There's quite a selection. Not sure if I've read any of those. Can we go here? How about that? Mr. Green must have put a lot of thought into this wine cabinet. It gives the restaurant a classy vibe. I can tell that it must have cost a fortune. Nope, not yet. The checkout counter has fruit candies for customers to take. I'm here for work, so I shouldn't touch them. Then what else? All these items can be redeemed with membership points? Mr. Green's really generous. Already inspected that better. Like, what else can I check? Oh, the counter, the kitchen. An open kitchen. It's visually pleasing for customers to see their food being prepared. But if the chef messes up, that's a different story. Yeah. Good point. What else? This potted plant is thriving. Looks like it's cared for very well. Wait, is that an earthworm wiggling in the soil? Yikes. Like, I couldn't. Like, I couldn't. I know that there's a hint up there. Yes. Yeah. I know. Oh. Gotcha! This must be the spring water from Cloudbreak Mountain. The manufacturing date is listed on the label. Judging by the manufacturing date, this must be the same tank that was delivered to the restaurant on the day of the incident.
ボトルの入り口が狭いな。適合する水差しを使わないと水が出なそうだ。うっかり殺虫剤を中に入れるのは案外難しそうだけど。
Unless someone injected it, but that leaves us with intentional action.
残念ながらボトルはもう洗ってある。何も情報は残ってない。指紋一つさえもな。
Or at least a needle or something? Spring water tank contained. Let's see what the security cam. I can't read it, but it looks mighty impressive. A CCTV camera? It's too high for me to reach. I wonder if it still works. I'll get to look to check it out later. Oh! Ooh! That is interesting. It said later. Oh, man. Yeah. Is there somewhere else? Upstairs is a private space. We shouldn't go up there without permission. Yeah, good point. Like, we already inspected that. The chair, the floor. Oh, the air conditioning? What? The restaurant's still warmly lit. They say that warm lights increase your appetite. So if I want to lose weight, I should change the light bulbs at home? Oh! Woohoo! Like, can we do something here? The restaurant circuit breaker. I better not touch it. Yeah. There should be something else. Oh! Oh, what? Oh, how could I miss this? What? I was looking at somewhat like that looks like a vent. The lock on the front is a fingerprint lock. It shows no sign of forced entry. If the incident was a malicious act, could the perpetrator be one of the restaurant's employees?
正確に言えば犯人はドアを開錠できる人物だ。2人の店員だけとは限らない。仮に店員の仕業だとしたら失業までして店の評判を落とす理由がない。しかも故意に毒物を混入させたのなら刑事責任まで負わなきゃいけなくなる。
Which means that it would leave like the caretaker in the...
諏訪さんを憎みでもしてなければ店員が犯行に及んだとは考えにくい。
Yeah, there must be a motive. Who else has access to the door? Even Winnie has to ring the doorbell, and Mr. Green wouldn't do this to himself. While you're pondering this issue, Luke takes out a tablet from his backpack and connects it to the charging port of the lock. Are you?
指紋の登録情報を調べてみれば誰が解錠できるかわかるだろう。
Is it not just no, it's not. Smart locks fingerprint database obtained. How could I miss that? Aha! Aha!
これが従業員が買った殺虫剤だな。レシートもまだ残ってる。購入日は2週間前の月曜日。
Now the tip here is that you should look into like small places because that's where they're mostly hidden. Mr. Green's quite meticulous. If it were me, I'd use the receipt within 2 days. According to this, Mr. Green bought Bug Out. Huh? I recall that Bug Out's non-toxic too. What? Bug Out's non-toxic.
パッケージにもそう書いてあるな。人には無害だし、ペットを飼ってる家でも使えるって。
So, if the insecticide's not non-toxic, then how did the poisoning happen?
殺虫剤といえば、お前小さい頃はゴキブリに弱かったよな。今はもう悲鳴あげなくなったか？
Oh, come on, not cockroaches. I'm gonna pretend you didn't ask that. Yeah. Yeah, I already inspected that. Yeah. Look for the small places. It's a good day to have a good meal. Being in a restaurant, all I can think of is food. Huh. Search for small places like this. I already inspected that. I already inspected that. Dang it! I already inspected that. Ah! Where is it? I already inspected that. Well, this. This. Ah. Oh, actually. No, that was the only one access. Aha!
この水差しは普段湧き水を汲むときに使われるものだろう。
This must be the dispenser for the spring water. If we have magnetic powder, we could try to lift some fingerprints from the dispenser and see who used it.
これが必要か？
Luke pulls out a bag of powder from one of the pockets on his jacket. Why do you have that with you?
俺は探偵だぞ。今みたいに指紋採取することだってあるし、いつでも持ち歩いてるんだ。
Luke is able to lift some fingerprints from the dispenser, but you aren't able to identify them just yet. Yes. Kiklu. Oh. I feel like there's still something. Oh. There's more? Aha. There you
ここを
go.
見ろ。薄黄色い結晶があるだろう。
Oh, what's that like? Could this be dried residue from the contaminated spring water?
結晶が残るほど濃度が高かったのか。あくまでも仮説だけどな。
Other possibilities. Could someone have directly smeared insecticide onto the spout?
それもあり得る。何にせよ、諏訪さんが言ってたうっかり間違えては嘘だろうな。
Yeah. Hey. Okay, let's see how many. Like, there's 5 more. I already inspected that. Okay. There's that. I already inspected that. Okay. Aha! Why? By chance. By chance. Strange. Why can't we find insecticide powder anywhere in here? After applying insecticide, you generally don't clean it up because that would defeat the purpose of applying it in the first place.
確かに怪しいな。
Hmm.
このワインセラーの隅っこに少し残ってないか？
Cool. It looks like any other insecticide powder on the market.
具体的な成分を検査してみよう。それで何かわかるだろうし。
You have that kind of equipment on you? You look up and down and all over look, but you don't see any beakers or other lab equipment.
そんなに見つめるなよ。検査をするからって科学実験をするのと勘違いしてないか？
Luke takes out a portable device with a screen on top and a dropper-like apparatus at the bottom.
これは俺が開発した快速検査機 D 型だ。通常の化学物質ならこれ一つで全部検査可能だ。
this guy's a genius. Mark 4. So there were marks 1, 2, and 3? Guess you didn't study bioengineering that well at the university.
もちろん修士学位も獲得済みだ。これでも成績優秀だったんだぜ。
Huh. By chance, I was able to get that. So it was also scattered on the floor. Aha! There's one more here. Like, there's no way I'm finding this without a keen eye.
この棚の下に紙があるみたいでな。取り出そうとしたら手を少しすった。
Sorry, I can't help it.
なら紙を取り出すのは弁護士先生に頼もうかな。かすり傷を作らないようにな。
As much as you want to continue bantering with Luke over his silly mistake, you know this isn't the time. Well, yeah, it's always a serious time. Come on now. You get down on the floor and reach for the paper, guided by the light from Luke's phone. Almost there. Got it. It's a receipt.
記載されている日時は2週間前の木曜日。商品名は滅虫サミレ。
It's an agricultural insecticide. You usually can't purchase this kind in the city. Oh.
レシートに支払い口座の番号が末尾4桁まで記載されている。購入者の特定につながるかも。
Nice. Insecticide 330 receipt. Oh! After a preliminary investigation, you and Luke compare notes on the evidence you found. Hey! Luke had run a basic analysis on both the crystals found on the water dispenser and the powder along the edges of the wine cabinet. The fingerprints lifted from the water dispenser were also compared to the ones stored in the smart lock of on the front door. On top of that, you had also found fingerprints on the receipt from Insecticide 330. And there's another entry there. Having only studied the liberal arts, you don't understand the code and molecular diagrams on Luke's tablets. Science. The wound on the back of his hand now looks like redder and more swollen. Let me take a look at the cut on your hand. Once Luke finishes up his work, you remove an alcohol wipe from your purse.
かすり傷？どこの？
Your hand, silly.
大丈夫だ。言われなきゃ忘れるところだったよ。
It's not fine. The bottom of that cabinet was probably never cleaned. What if your gut gets infected? I mean, we gotta worry at some point. Not accepting his refusal, you grab his hand and gently clean his wound with your alcohol wipe. It'll sting. Bear with me for a bit. You're lucky that I always bring alcohol wipes with me when doing on-site work in case I need to disinfect something. Sometimes it just works like that. Luke hasn't said anything for a while, so you look up at him. A faint blush decorates his cheeks. accentuating the shine of his coral eyes. You.
ああ、覚えておくよ。これからはもっと気をつける。心配させてごめん。
Your words better be as good as gold, Detective Pierce. You laugh, causing Luke to blush even harder. He clears his throat in a forced manner and quickly changes the subject.
仕事の話をしよう。さっきの検査結果を見た限り、指紋にもあの粉にも問題がある。
Huh. Yes. Ah, you really need a keen eye here now. And that's not an exaggeration. You really need a keen eye here. Ah, okay, I get it. Now let's just finish this up. It's yeah. Let's just alter this one. Oh come on! Don't tell me. Okay. Okay, there's more. Let's see. This one's gonna be a long ride. Oh, I didn't quite see where it is. Winnie takes the blood pressure monitor off of Vernon's arm and puts it away.
ケイコ、私のことはもういいんだ。店の衛生がダメだったからお客さんがお腹を壊した。これはもうどうしようもない事実だ。探偵を雇っても覆せない。
Looks. No wonder I like this game. It's because like Detective Conan was actually my childhood anime. Yes, you heard that right. It's my childhood anime, and nothing's gonna ever change that. I really like it.
それより大学のことを聞かせてくれないか。学校はいつから始まるんだい？
Just a fun fact. While reviewing the measurement history on the blood pressure monitor, Winnie's hand stops. She turns towards Vernon, eyes slightly teary.
諏訪おじいさん。おじいさんは何を隠してるんですか？
どうした？ケイコ、私には君が何を言ってるかわからないよ。
血圧や心拍数を測ってみたけど、この前よりずっと安定してます。さっき下にいた時、わざと体調が優れないふりをしてたんですね。あの二人の。
ケイコ、私は。
I didn't.
さっき下にいた時、わざと体調が優れないふりをしてたんですね。あの二人の質問に答えたくないからって。
Okay.
ケイコ、私は。
おじいさんは一体何を隠してるんですか？今回の事故は葵食堂の存続がかかっているのに。
I think he was already extorted and was blackmailed so that he would shut the entire restaurant down. That's what I think. Vernon is stunned for a moment, but then lets out a long sigh.
私も仕方がないんだ。
Well, I knew it.
話すと長くなる。
A long story's never long. You just have to be patient. Pen's comfort foods. Luke's preliminary test results shows that something isn't adding up with the fingerprints and insecticide powder. Maybe Luke and Artem were right in suspecting that there is more to this food poisoning incident.
これらの証拠は個別だと事件の手がかりになり得ない。だけど証拠を結びつけて相互比較すると疑問点が見えてくる。
Well, yeah, true. For instance, the insecticide that contaminated the spring water probably wasn't the bug out that Mr. Green bought. Bug out is an insecticide that isn't toxic to humans. Let me guess. The crystals on the water dispenser are a match with insecticide 330.
ああ、そうだ。ポンプ式水差しには殺虫剤の有害成分が含まれてた。
Oh. So that would mean someone intentionally bought insecticide 330.
水差しを解体してみたけど、フィルターエレメントには大量の殺虫剤が入ってたよ。
Ah,
これで注水口に殺虫剤の結晶があったことも説明がつく。薬物の濃度が高かったからだ。
alarmingly high. So that would mean it's dangerous. That means any water that went through the dispenser would get contaminated. This also means that it's nearly impossible to spill insecticide into the dispenser by accident. So the act was intentional.
お客さんが食中毒を起こした原因は汚れた湧き水を飲んだことにあるって言い切れるか？
Let me think. Reviewing all the evidence we have should give us our answer. Oh, you've collected quite a number of clues. However, they don't mean much unless you can find the connection within them. Huh. Here's the dilemma we need to solve in this analysis. Also that. Choose 2 clues that from the following list that you believe are connected to solve the current dilemma. Interesting. Contaminated spring water and customers' medical reports. Yes. After selecting 2 clues, tap find connections to see if there is indeed a connection. Yeah. We can. According to their medical reports, the patients had abdominal pain and diarrhea, which is consistent with the symptoms of insecticide 330 poisoning.
なら、ただの食中毒事故じゃないな。
Yeah. Exactly. Insecticides 330 is a potent pesticide. If it were deliberately used in a restaurant, there's no way this case of food poisoning was caused by negligence. A hazardous chemical was intentionally used. It's a criminal act. Mr. Green didn't ask his employees to buy insecticide 330, so who bought it and put it in the water? I guess it was one of the staff members. If the culprit was in the restaurant, they must have left fingerprints or some other traces. Well, there is. This is how you find connections between clues. Solve the new dilemma by finding another connection. Yes. Then there's the fingerprints. Yes, I get it.
ポンプ式水差しとフィルターから採取した指紋はドアの鍵に登録されてたものと一致した。
Oh.
一番古いデータは10年前。おそらく諏訪さん本人が装置を設定した際に登録したんだろ
Then the latest.
う。もう2つはそれぞれ3年前と1年前に登録されたものだ。安田さんから渡された従業員情報と一致するし、これは彼らのものだろう。
Hey. Told you.
そして4つ目は6年前に登録されている。誰のものなのかはまだわからない。
So there's a fourth? Maybe a former employee?
その可能性はない。装置には離職した従業員の指紋をクリアした履歴が残ってた。けど別の証拠から装置に保存された4つ目のデータと一致する指紋が検出されたんだ。
Oh? Wow. The receipt for insecticide 330.
そうだ。しかもポンプ式水差しのフィルターエレメントの近くからも同じ指紋が検出された。
Now we know for sure that someone not employed by the restaurant was recently here. They must be the one who placed insecticide into the water dispenser. Since they can unlock the front door, they must be close to Mr. Green. Someone who's close to him but also has a conflict of interest with the restaurant. We'll have to ask Mr. Green for that answer. I could
で
believe.
も今掴んだ証拠を諏訪さんに尋ねても有益な情報は聞き出せないと思う。
I think it was Pedro from like before. Hmm.
ああ、その可能性が高い。
Wait. Sorry. You mean Mr. Green is deliberately trying to shield the suspect? Why do you think that? Did you find some evidence?
ボトルの洗浄作業ってのはベンダーさんがボトルを回収した後にやることだろう。けど店に残されてたボトルはきれいに洗われてた。余った水も指紋も何も残ってない。しかもワインセラーの縁で見つけた殺虫剤を検査した結果、無害の虫殺しだけが拭き取られてる。
The cabin was tested with a non-toxic bug out, but it was also cleaned up. The restaurant likely uses bug out on a regular basis. Could the staff have cleaned it up by accident?
食中毒が起きたレストランでオーナーの指示もなく勝手に掃除をする店員はいないだろう。
So there would be no disruption.
これらの証拠隠滅は諏訪さんが毒を混入した犯人の正体を知った上で自らやったことだと思う。
If that's the case, then Mr. Green must have a long history with our culprit. Why would Vernon want to protect someone who is clearly out to damage the restaurant? You and Luke can't wrap your heads about it. You hear footsteps suddenly coming down from upstairs. It's Winnie. Her eyes are swollen and red from crying. When your eyes meet, Winnie stops in her tracks. She opens her mouth as if wanting to say something. Before she can speak, Vernon calls out from upstairs.
ケイコ、私の薬はどこに置いてあるんだい？
Vernon really, Mr. Vernon actually wants to silence, not in a hazardous way, okay? She literally wants to tell them, but Mr. Green promptly tells her to just stop.
おじいさんはじっとしてて、取ってあげるから。
Winnie glances at you again before going back upstairs. What's Mr. Green trying to hide?
隠し事をしていても俺たちの捜査は止めてない。なら二人で真実を見つければいい。
Well, if we can't force it out of his then we'll have to do so. Then we'll have to do so by finding evidence. We should start on the poisoner's identity. They've had access to the restaurant for 6 years, so we'll likely find clues to their identity somewhere here.
この人物は青い食堂と利害が一致してない。経営情報から手がかりをつかめるか。例えば帳簿とかから。よし、1階をもう一度捜査してみよう。どうしても見つからなかったら諏訪さんに聞くしかないな。
Well, yeah. Oh, speaking of a conflict of interest, I just thought of... You and Luke lock eyes and he immediately knows what you're thinking, as if you two are one.
それってミールキャットのことか。
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! And I just wanna point out that Pedro was also a member of that. Or at least the advertiser. We need to find more. Penny's comfort foods. You and Luke have determined that the suspect is someone closely related to Vernon and has a conflict of interest with the restaurant. You suddenly think of Pedro, the man that Winnie had argued with. Vernon had rejected his sales offers several times, which constitutes a conflict of interest.
この事件もしかして俺が調査してるもう一つの案件とも関わってるのか？
Could be. Another case? I'm talking about Pedro, the sales manager for Delicart. Winnie told me about him back at the law firm. Winnie didn't tell you about him? Or is there something more to this?
ミールキャットはパックスの融資を受けて上場を計画してるって話聞いたことあるか？
Yeah, we know. Yeah, I did. I also heard that many smaller financial institutions are following suit.
その金融機構の一つが俺にミールキャットの信用と背景の調査を依頼してきた。
Huh.
ミールキャットは大量の桜を雇ってアプリ内の情報を操作してる以外に違法な手段で利益も得ていたらしい。
Or, in other words, extortion. What? Delicart's just a food review app. What's their goal?
俺もさっぱりだったけど、今回の事故と合わせて考えてみると調査の方向がつかめた気がする。口コミアプリは市場競争が激しいから、ミールキャットは経営を維持できても上場できるほどの利益は上げられてない。けどアプリ登録済みの店舗で事故が起きれば、ミールキャットは危機管理コンサルティングサービスを進められる。
You're saying that Delicart intentionally sabotages its clients? Like review bombing a restaurant to force its owner to purchase Delicart's premium service to save their restaurant's reputation?
これはあくまで俺が2つの依頼を合わせて推測した結果だ。今はまだ証拠がない。
Yeah, it's not really viable unless you find hard evidence. I didn't think this is what private detectives do nowadays.
他に何があるんだ？芸能人のプライベートの調査に不倫調査？勘弁してくれ。
You said it, not me. I thought private detectives were all about solving cold cases. Pedro happens to be a Delicart employee, so you might be right. Let's see if we can find some evidence here. Okay. So we checked this before. He's driving. Looks like he's scared for barrel. There's that. Although it's not open, the restaurant still kept clean and tight. Oh wait! Yeah, it's the same dial. Yeah, it's still that. Found that. This. Aha! The portrait. Mr. Green's pretty amazing. He was the champion of the last year's Stella's angling competition.
写真の諏訪さんはすごく明るく見えるな。今と違って。
Yeah. Age. This incident caused his restaurant to close down. Of course he'd be upset.
釣りって言えば、お前海鮮料理が好きだったよな。今でもそうなのか？
Of course I do. Arguably even more now. Seafood's low in fat, so I don't have to worry about gaining weight.
お前は痩せすぎだから少し肉がつくぐらいでちょうどいいさ。
No way. I just bought a new dress. So there's that one. And I think the CCTV. Yeah. Luke notices a CCTV camera high in a corner near the entrance.
見た感じ、あの防犯カメラは壊れてるな。外して確認してみよう。
The camera is high up near the ceiling. Luke stacks two chairs on top of each other before climbing up. However, they appear shaky and unsafe. I'll steady the chairs for you. Be careful.
心配すんな。探偵は手際が命だからな。
Luke's movements are nimble. He swiftly detaches the camera from its wall mount. Only once Luke's feet are back on the floor do you relax. Your neck is sore from looking up. The lens is shattered. The camera is not in an easily accessible location. So how did this happen?
破損状態から見て何か硬いものでついて割られたっぽいな。
Yeah, it was smashed into like the inside. It's possible that the culprit tried to break it up after discovering it. Yeah. There's the port.
念入りに壊されてる感じがするな。メモリが取り出せなくなってる。
Oh.
でもこれくらいなら修理すれば取り出せるか。
Oh, there you go.
Wi-Fi 発信機能も壊れてるっぽいな。カメラのネットサーバーに繋がらない。
It wouldn't have helped us anyway. Surveillance footage is usually kept on the cloud for only 14 days. Any videos from the incident are probably gone now. Yikes. Damage security camera obtained. Yes. Then it's probably something to do with these guys. Yeah. One, the laptop. The computer, rather. You access the computer on the checkout counter to check the restaurant's account logs. The expenditures look normal. Most of the costs are towards ingredients and Delicart's monthly membership fee. Expenditures for supporting underprivileged students are also recorded.
ミールキャットには悪い口コミばかり書かれてたのに会員費を支払い続けてたのか。
It's possible that Pedro blackmailed. I'm still holding true to that. He's been a member since March of last year. Huh? Look! Pedro's name is here! You find Pedro's name out among the list of underprivileged students but that Vernon had supported. Vernon used to send him $300 every month. Pedro was one of the students that Mr. Green had helped? The records show that Vernon had supported Pedro for a long time. Payments stopped in June last year, around the time when Pedro would have graduated from college. Oh.
西原さんの口座番号は載ってるか。
Yes, the last 4 digits match the account number on the insecticide treater. Oh, that's hard evidence! That's hard evidence! That's hard evidence. Pedro is the culprit.
こうなってくると西原さんは容疑者になる可能性が出てきたな。
Transaction records obtained. It's a good thing. Okay. There's that. Let's see what we can inspect. Yeah, it's that. I already inspected that. Oh! Post. I haven't seen a handwritten customer feedback book in a long time. Winnie said that the restaurant got review bumped on Delicart once Mr. Green turned down Pedro's offer. So yeah, the positive feedback in this book is proof that Delicart hires ghostwriters to write negative reviews.
この手書きのノートには感謝の言葉が綴られてる。青い食堂の誠実さと人気が伺えるな。
But then Pedro appeared. There's a leaflet tucked between the pages. There's that. It's a quote from Delicart on their premium services.
元々の値段の上に手書きの割引価格が書かれてる。西原さんの名刺付きだ。どうやら西原さんがミールキャットのサービスを諏訪さんに勧めた証拠にもなりそうだ。
Yeah, there's that. There's... So there's none here actually. So that kind of... Yeah, there's that. Yeah. I know. Sorry, I'm busy finding this last piece without having to use a hint. Maybe I have to. Oh! There's something glowing there. Cook story. Or rather, the blue book. Is this photo of Mr. Green's family? While searching the bookshelf, you come across a picture frame hidden amongst the recipes. Wait! Is this Mr. Green's son?
安田さんが諏訪さんの事情を話した時、息子さんがいるとは言ってなかったぞ。
Huh. She's only been in Stella's for a month. It's understandable that she doesn't know everything about his family. I feel like the boy in the photo seems familiar.
見たことある？いつ？最近会ったやつか？
I really can't remember. Mr. Green was quite handsome back in his prime. Yeah, it reminded me of Artem for a reason. But now he seems a bit haggard. I hope this blows over so he can get back on his feet. This must be Mr. Green's wife, Penny. She's beautiful.
諏訪さんの隣で笑ってるな。すごく幸せそうだ。
Her smile's so gentle. She must have been a kind-hearted person. Such a beauty. This spot has already been checked. Ah, the back! Aha! You remove the photo to see if there's a date on the back, but you find another photo wedged behind the photo frame. It's Pedro!
写真の撮影日が書いてある。2028年3月。
What?
一昨年撮られたものだ。
Wow! 2028! It's like, it's 7 years from now. Oh. Why would Pedro's photo be with Mr. Green's family photo?
諏訪さんの年齢から察するに、お子さんがいたとしても、西原さんよりずっと年上だろうな。
Or unless he's the son. You'll have to ask Mr. Green about it then. Yeah, there's that. After going through the scene again, you now have a clearer picture of the person responsible for the food poisoning incident. And it is Pedro. Now we're sure Delicate, or rather Pedro, tried to market... What? Tried to market premium services to Mr. Green. Okay, I get it. However, we can't implicate him with only a receipt. He could argue that he dropped it in the restaurant after the incident.
もし防犯カメラに彼が事件前に葵食堂を訪れた記録が残っていたら、
You should repair the camera.
彼は晴れて容疑者の一員だ。
But the camera.
ざっと見たところ、これなら直せそうだ。道具ならカバンにある。
Look is your perfect mechanic. That's amazing. Wouldn't expect anything less from my Sherlock.
なあ、俺の活躍を目に焼き付けてくれよ。
Luke pulls out all sorts of gadgets from his pockets. Before he can start, Vernon comes downstairs with Winnie's assistance.
直さなくてもいい。あの防犯カメラは私が壊したのだから。
What? Vernon was the one who did it? What a shocking way to end it. Come on now. Wow. I can't believe that happened. Like, genuinely. Okay. Let's speedrun mode. Speedrun mode. Let's go. And now we wait. Yikes! That's quite high actually. That. Yes. Now there's one more. Let's see what this one does. Mr. Green, you and Luke are both surprised by Vernon's sudden confession that he was the one who broke the CCTV camera.
諏訪さん、あなたは今回の食中毒事故、いや、事件の真相が分かっているんでしょ
う。Well, yeah.
西原海斗がやったことだってね。
Vernon walks to a table and sits down without saying a word.
おじいさん、この後に及んでどうしてあの恩知らずのバカをかばうんですか？彼はおじいさんの行為に甘えて図に乗ってるんです。
安田さん、諏訪さんはあなたに何を教えたんですか？
Winnie silently looks at Vernon with an irate expression on her face, then turns away, biting her lip. Other than a long sigh, Vernon shows no sign of wanting to tell you the truth. His strange behavior reminds you of the family photo and Pedro's photo on the bookshelf. That's it! Pedro's the one who looks like the boy in the photo. I knew it! He's the son! Could that be the reason why Mr. Green's hiding the truth? Mr. Green, forgive me if what I'm about to say is too personal. We had found photos of your family and Pedro on the bookshelf. Are you protecting him because he resembles your son? Vernon looks up at you in surprise, then lets out another long sigh.
どうしてわかったんだ？
You hand Vernon the photo you found on the bookshelf. The boy in this photo is your son?
この子は私と葵の一人息子、ヒロトだ。
Oh! That reminds me. Peter and Pedro actually was a same name? Or was it just on a different language? What happened?
27年前、ヒロトは18歳だった。念願のステラ大学への入学が決まり、入学祝いに一人で旅行がしたいと言い出した。
I'm calling it. It's a traffic accident.
その旅行中、観光バスが隣県のつづら折りの道路で交通事故に遭い、ヒロトは二度と戻ってこなかった。私と葵が学生の支援を始めたのもヒロトのことがあったから。息子の夢を彼らが受け継いでくれたように思えた。
Oh, so that was the reason why he does the help.
でも
helping out.
愛する息子を失った葵のショックは深かった。彼女は体調を崩し、2年後にはヒロトのもとへ。
That is genuinely sad. I'm so sorry, Mr. Green.
料理好きの葵はレシピを残していた。私は葵食堂を始め、多くの人に葵の料理を食べてもらおうと思った。西原海斗はもともとこの店のバイトだったんだ。彼はバイトをしながら大学の受験に挑もうとしていた。毎晩仕事が終わった後もキッチンで熱心に勉強して、そんな海斗をつい助けてあげたくなった。
However, what happened?
彼はヒロトに似ていたのもあって、私にとっては他の子たちとは少し違った存在だったんだ。
How did this conflict even happen?
当時の西原さんは誠実で努力家の好青年だったんでしょう。
Then yeah, something happened.
もちろんだ。カイトは毒を盛るような人間じゃない。あのブラック企業が彼を追い詰めたんだ。
What? Oh, Delicate forced him? How do you know?
あれは去年、彼が会社に就職したばかりの頃だった。
じいさん、助けてくれ。このままじゃ会社をクビになっちまう。
どうしたんだいカイト。
Ah. Pedro kneels before Vernon, bitterly sobbing. His cheeks are swollen and purple palm prints are visible on his skin. He was obviously beaten. So Delicate is actually a very harsh company.
誰に殴られた？すぐに通報してやる。
いや、通報はしないでくれ。俺、自分でやったんだ。
自分で？どうして？
会社のノルマを達成できなかった。今月は50万足りなかったから、全部署の前でビンタ50回だ。恥を知ればもっと頑張れるって。頑張ってダメなら給料が引かれる。向上心がないって言われるんだ。
That is not ideal. That company's never gonna prosper.
なんてことだ。そんなのは違法だ。
You said it, Mr. Green.
カイト、そんな会社は早く辞めなさい。起訴してやるんだ。
やめられないよ。今は就職なんだし。前の会社のように力仕事ばっかり押し付けられるのはごめんだ。前の仕事は結局長続きしなかった。今の会社を辞めたらきっともう俺を雇ってくれる会社はどこにもない。実家には帰れない。あんな貧乏くさい田舎にはもう帰りたくないんだ。この町に残りたい。
What Delicate did was absolutely illegal. He should have listened to you and resigned, then sued them. Yeah.
カイトは貧しい暮らしにうんざりしていた。彼の気持ちはわかる。だから助けてやろうと思った。ミールキャットの会員になってほしいと頼まれたので、会員費を月2万支払った。彼を支援したと思って登録した。
I think Greed's
でもそれは始まりに過ぎなかった。西原さんはあなたに様々な課金サービスを進めてきた。
Yeah, things got
例えば上級プランとか。
Yeah. Greed made him start escalate.
そうだ。上級プランに加入するためには月30万円。店の広告サービスの費用はもっと。到底負担できない額だ。私はカイトの頼みを断った。頼みの綱を失ったカイトは追い詰められ、道を踏み外してしまった。
But he can't do that.
すべてミールキャットのせいだ。悪評を流したり、雇った人間に店でケチをつけさせる。奴らがよくやる手口だ。
Ooh. Ooh. How come the restaurant owners never teamed up to file a lawsuit together?
告発するにも証拠がない。私にはカイトがミールキャットの一員になっていくのを黙って見ているしかなかった。食品安全部門の調査員が帰った後、事故を起こしたのがカイトだと分かった。
だからボトルを洗い、殺虫剤を拭き取り、防犯カメラを壊して証拠になるものを隠滅した。西原さんをかばうために。でもどうして西原さんが犯人だと言い切れるんですか？
それは
おじいさん、あいつをかばったら葵食堂は食中毒を起こした悪評だけが残って経営が難しくなりますよ。諏訪おばあちゃんが残してくれた美味しいレシピ、誰も食べられなくなっちゃいますよ。
一度真実を全て話そうとも考えた。だがあの子を牢屋に入れたくない。
That really is a tough decision to make, actually.
カイトはまだ若い。ほんの気の迷いだったんだ。でも前科がついてしまったら彼の人生は終わりだ。
諏訪さん、西原さんを救う根本的な解決方法はミールキャットに法の裁きを受けさせることでは。 今回の食中毒事件はミールキャットの違法業務を摘発する突破口になる。西原さんさえ証言してくれれば。
君は若いからわからないんだ。私だってあの会社をどうにかしてやりたい。だがとても手に負える相手じゃない。
No one can bend law, okay? You didn't stop us from investigating though. A part of you wants the truth to come out, doesn't it? If Pedro's willing to cooperate, I can defend him in court.
お嬢さんが弁護士なのは分かっていたよ。素性を隠したのは私が弁護士嫌いだと稽古から聞いていたからだろう。
You didn't even realize what you said until right now. I'm sorry, Mr. Green.
実は弁護士を立てるのが嫌なわけじゃないんだ。ただカイトが不利になる弱みを握られるのが怖かった。
I can understand that.
だが証拠となるものは消してしまったし、店を調べても何も出てこないだろう。そう高をくくっていたんだが、どうやら君たちを見くびっていたようだ。稽古も随分と諦めが悪い。さっき上で事情をすべて稽古に話した。君たちと同じように稽古も私を説得しようとした。君たちが私のためを思ってくれてるのはわかる。でもカイトはどうなる。だから
Didn't it like very
君たちが私のためを思ってくれてるのはわかる。でもカイトはどうなる。だからお引き取りください。
Vernon turns around and starts going upstairs. You open your mouth to say something when the restaurant's door suddenly swings open. Who will be here at this time? You look toward the front door and... who is it? It's Pedro. Now... Okay, one more for the road. Upon seeing you and look inside with Winnie and Vernon, Pedro freezes for a moment, but then he sneers.
じじい、弁護士を雇ったのか。だがこっちについてるのは市でナンバー1のバルドル法律事務所だぜ。万が一でも勝ち目はない。弁護士を雇う金があるならその金でうちのサービスを受けたらどうだ。
おじいさん聞いたでしょ。彼は自分の罪を認める気はさらさらないのよ。
Pedro. Vernon is not in good. Worried that Pedro might become rowdy, you start to step in between the two. However, Luke places a hand on your arm and gently squeezes it.
まあそう焦るな。
What? He winks at you and flashes something from his pocket. A recording pen. Wow, that thing exists? Okay. Does he think Pedro may get emotional and reveal the truth about everything?
カイト、どうしてミールキャットをやめないんだ。君がやらされていることは全て違法なことだとわからないのか。
俺がいつ法を犯したって証拠はあるのかよ。
Of course we do. What happened at this restaurant wasn't a food poisoning accident, but a case of deliberate contamination. We found a receipt showing that you bought a toxic insecticide. What do you think about that?
やるじゃないかじじい。うるさい説教だけかと思いきやこそこそと店の証拠をでっち上げてたなんて。カイトのためだとか言っておきながら本当は俺に濡れ衣を着せようとしてたんだな。とんだ偽善者め。
ふざけないで。おじいさんが偽善者なんてよく言えたわね。彼はあなたに一つも悪いことなんかしてないのに。
そっちこそふざけんな。 そのじじいは俺に悪いことしかしてねえんだよ。
Uh-huh. Don't say that because we already know everything about you.
そいつの息子と顔が似てるからっていろいろ押し付けやがって。ステラ市で暮らせだ。この競争の激しい大都市で俺みたいなよそ者がどうやって生きていけと。家賃と飯代を稼ぐのもいっぱいいっぱいだ。ならこいつが、このジジイが責任を取るべきだろうが。それにこいつが本当にいい親父なら息子を支援するのは当たり前だろ。
ほんと呆れたものいいね。
うちの会社のサービスを受ければウィンウィンだ。ジジイは経営を拡大できて、俺はノルマをクリア。何が悪い。このジジイは売名のために貧乏学生を支援しようとする。なのに今まで支援してきた学生は誰も助けちゃくれない。こいつの援助が切られたら大学から追い出される安田以外みんな逃げた。これが偽善者への報いだ。
Can someone help this guy, please?
どうだ、うちのサービスを受ける気になったか。お前がはいとさえ言えば今月のノルマはクリアだ。
Everyone is shocked by Pedro's shamelessness. Vernon stares incredulously at Pedro, deeply wounded by his words.
おじいさん。
The quiet restaurant is suddenly filled with the sound of Vernon's rapid breathing. He clutches his knee and kneels in pain. You and Luke move to check on Vernon, but Pedro suddenly makes a beeline for the evidence on the table. Luke swiftly seizes his wrist.
いって、お前、話せよ。
Pedro's face pales from the pain, unable to free himself from Luke's grip. Pedro swings his free fist towards Luke. Luke blocks the hit and twists. Pedro screams as Luke locks his arms behind his back. Luke pins Pedro down with an expression as merciless as a sharpened blade.
西原さん、証拠を隠滅しようとは思わないでください。今回の事件、もしあなたが全て会社に強いられたと証明してくれれば、罪を軽くしてあげられるかもしれない。
You were concerned about work and rent, right? You won't have to worry about those things in prison.
お前ら。
Right?
うちの背後にはパックスグループがいるんだ。お前らごときじゃ手に負えない。路頭に迷いたくなきゃ早く俺を離せ。
Ah, yes. So what if the Pax group's owned by the wealthy Bonhagans? Their money means nothing before the law. Justice is blind. I'll be defending Mr. Green in court, and I'll take this case to the Supreme Court if I have to, even against the Pax group.
彼をカイトを話してくれ。私は君たちに出廷を依頼する。カイトの支援はもうやめだ。
なんだと、そんな、よせ。
Right. Maybe I should cut it here, because it's probably over the time now. Anyways, this is Night Kiefer once again. Bye-bye.